just fortunate to be on Georgia.
And we are fortunate to be able to be ambassadors for our culture.
And Kwong Bakery will always be.
Well, we want Crybaby to remain a legacy, and I think we will remain a legacy in Washington, D.C. for, for the young ones who that start off coming to our bakery and have grown before our eyes. They will remember that Crown Bakery have provided a product that will forever stay in their mind. We are forever etched in their mind. Like I remember going to the little store corner, the store in the corner, and that stayed in my mind. That this little store I used to go to get tambourine ball, or that's the store I used to go to get something to drink. And so I see Crown a legacy in Washington, D.C.
Crown by Marjuan Canady. Act 1. The time is 1999 in Washington, D.C. Scene 1. Beef pies. Jennifer, a woman in her mid-30s, is seen inside a small apartment in DuPont Circle. She's in the kitchen. It is tiny. A picture of Jennifer and her grandmother hangs on the wall, along with a portrait of Trinidad in a wooden frame. A ticking clock sits on the countertop. It is 4:15 a.m. Jennifer wears her pajamas and an apron that once belonged to her grandmother. The apron is covered in flour. She is rolling bread and grating coconut with her bare hands. The motion of her hands goes back and forth, back and forth. It feels like more a dance. She has large headphones on while singing calypso tunes. She is making beef pies, coconut bake, and currant rolls. She looks up at the audience.
This is the story of how my husband and I became owners of our own restaurant. Two immigrants from Trinidad and Tobago, St. James to be exact, who came to America with a dream of starting our own business. It's crazy to think that neither my husband or I knew anything about cooking. It's been quite the journey.
She goes back to cooking.
Well, the girls in town feeling bad. No more Yankees in Trinidad. They're going to close down the base for good. Them girls have to make out how they could. Brothers now they back up in town. In for a penny and in for a pound. Believe me, it's competition for so. Trouble in town when the price down low, so when you bounce up.
Trevor appears. He is just waking up. He is wearing boxers and a t-shirt. He is in shape and in his mid-30s. He has an entrepreneurial spirit. He peeks at Jennifer through the bedroom doorway. She doesn't see him.
Tina and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. Bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get it all for nothing. Don't make no row. When the Yankees gone, Sparrow take over now.
Trevor sneaks up behind Jennifer, sliding his hands around her hips and slow whining with her.
Babe, you scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I couldn't help myself. Darling, it looks and smells so good.
Thanks. I think I finally perfected the role.
Yes, you have.
He dances even closer to her.
Trevor, I was talking about the pies.
Okay. And I wasn't.
He hugs her from behind, kisses her on the neck, then the cheek, and then the lips.
Trevor, come now. This is my last set of pies to bake for the morning.
Okay.
He pours himself a cup of coffee. He stares at her lovingly with such admiration.
I have the best wife. I love your determination, your soul, your passion.
And I love yours too. I mean, we have to be determined. I just wish we didn't have to sell these on...
Jennifer, don't say it. Don't say the C word.
Trevor walks over to the bedroom to get dressed.
Consignment!
I told you not to say it. Oh.
I just wish that they would pay us up front for our work. This is hard work, you know. Hard work. And sometimes all we bring home is $5 off of 100 pies. How long you think we could live off of $5?
A better question. I wonder where in the world all these unsold pies are.
Trevor,
Trevor comes out from the bedroom wearing a business suit.
Jenny, it's just for now. Trust me. We just have to put our names and products out there and something will come up.
He kisses her on the cheek.
I'm working hard to make this happen every day. Every person I speak with, I'm building this up for you, for us. We won't be in this place forever. We will one day have our own storefront, our own employees with our own customers and selling each pie for what it's worth. We just have to do what we have to do now.
I know.
She goes back to rolling dough. Scene 2, memory.
My grandmother did most of the cooking when I was small. As a young girl, I vividly remember her calling me into the kitchen on a Sunday. The yellow paint on the walls, the cast iron pot full of pilau, the tawa to make roti, and the sweet sounds of Mighty Sparrow on the radio. "Jenny, come now," is what Granny would say. I would run fast into the kitchen, sitting on the stool right under the table watching her prepare all of our traditional dishes, like kalaloo, curry crab and dumpling, and saltfish buljol. I loved being her sous chef, handing her all the right spoons, spices, and herbs. She cooked everything. Her potato aloo pies were my absolute favorite. You see, Trinidadian food is influenced by our cultural makeup. The East Indian influence is the most dominant in our food. Our food is mostly curried, like curry goat, chicken, shrimp, and even in our doubles. For us, you could curry anything. African culture is seen in our peas and rice, oxtail, stewed chicken, pilau. And of course, we have Chinese, Syrian influence, and the indigenous Arawak and Carib. Sundays are important days for Trinis when it comes to food. It's our day to have family over for a nice cook-up, to lime, reconnect, and get ready for the week. These are the memories I carry with me about home. Now, when I lived in New York, it was a different story. I went to school at Parsons and FIT. When you work in the fashion industry in New York, you are always on the move, constantly hustling and eating on the run. So when I got hungry, I whipped out my little red recipe book. That book had all of our traditional Trini dishes. I didn't know anything about cooking, baking, nothing. My brothers, who were chefs, actually taught me everything. And of course, my little red recipe book of all my grandmother's recipes.
When I was a young boy, I remember getting the barrels from the US. They had all the nice fabrics, toys, electronics. Now, I knew as a boy, I wanted to go to that place and see all of it for myself. Yeah? And I did. Most immigrants come to the US and go straight to New York or Miami, but I went to Cleveland, Ohio. I went to school there and graduated as an electronic technician. I worked and studied and didn't have much time to leave Cleveland, and for some reason never experienced those nice things from the barrel when I was a boy. To tell you the truth, I did not like the US, and after 4 years of living in the US, I migrated back to Trinidad, vowing I would never go back. And then I met Jennifer, and my life changed. She wanted to come back, you see, and when a woman wants what she wants, she gets it. And I loved her. So we left and migrated to New York in 1979. Brooklyn, yes, the BK, where all Caribbeans go when they first come to New York. We started a new life together, and We set out to create our own.
Scene 3. News. Jennifer is seen in the kitchen cleaning up.
Jennifer, where are you? I have news.
I'm here. I have news too. You go first.
Okay, well, I went to pick up today's money and leftover pies at the Red Apple, and there was nothing left to pick up.
That's great news.
Well, that's not the news at all. There was a man from the Marriott there. I knew he was someone important because he had this briefcase and a nice suit and an even nicer tie. No.
Okay. He was nice and
Well, he said he loved the beef pies.
that's great. So he's the one who bought them out?
Well, not only did he buy all 50 out, he said he needs 800 by the end of the week for a party at the Marriott.
What? 800? How am I going to make 800?
Okay, well, if we start now and freeze some, I think we can do it. We can make 200 a day.
She sits down.
What happened?
My news. The oven give out is completely dead.
What?
Yeah, I know. I don't know how it happened. I was putting in my last batch of pies and then boom, it was just me and Smoke standing here in disbelief. This is the worst and best news. What are we going to do? How are we going to make 800 pies in 4 days?
I don't know.
Maybe you should tell the man from the Marriott we're just not ready. We don't have the equipment or the help.
We can't do that. This is our opportunity. We need to find a commercial oven. It's about time we get out into a real kitchen.
Do you think we're really ready?
Yes, we ready.
Scene 4. Our shop.
No, that was a tough situation, but it was exactly what we needed to move forward and build the way we wanted. So, you're wondering how we made 800 pies, huh? Well, what can I say? I'm a very resourceful man. I found a commercial kitchen on Georgia Avenue and we rented it out for 1 day to make the 800 pies. And the Marriott guests loved them. We got a $1,500 check and began renting that kitchen for the next 10 years, building up our clientele and perfecting our cuisine.
Jennifer is in the commercial kitchen. She's rolling dough and preparing to put in her next batch of pastries in the oven. She wears a stylish chef uniform and her grandmother's apron. She sings.
Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing, bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get it all for nothing. Don't make no row. When the Yankees gone, Sparrow take over now.
Ginny, guess what?
What? You win the lottery?
No.
We don't have to pay rent this month?
No, and actually a landlord wants to raise the rent, but no to your question.
Then what?
The old Swedish man with the pastry shop down the block? The one whose wife just died, who I go and help all the time. Liam is his name.
Okay, alright, yes, I remember.
He wants to sell us his building. Now, isn't this amazing? Our dream is coming true. It's everything we ever wanted. What's wrong? Isn't this what you want? What we want, to have our own shop?
Yes, it is, but
But what?
are we really ready? Like, what will our menu be? How will we get our customers? How much is the down payment?
$30,000.
Trevor, we don't have that type of money. How are we going to get that money?
We can take out a loan and we finance it. My brother will help us. Look, why do you think Liam wants to sell us this building, huh?
Because we bake too?
Ginny, it's because of the type of people we are. He told me he wants to sell us his building because his wife likes us. Because we are hardworking people with integrity that truly love what we do. Now, Tell me that's not God working right now, huh? We have to trust it and take a chance.
I know. I'm just scared.
Okay, do this now. Close your eyes, huh? Imagine we are in our very own bakery. Do you see it?
Yes, okay. I see it.
What exactly do you see?
Bright yellow walls, the customers standing in line, pictures of back home on the wall.
And what's on the menu?
Cassava pone, butter bread, currants rolls, beef, chicken, spinach pies.
Open your eyes. That's our menu. Let's start there.
They kiss. Scene 5. Reflection.
And that's how we started. In 2006, my brother, God rest his soul, helped us find a hard lender and we bought the building. It was a tough time paying rent for our old shop plus a new mortgage, renovations, equipment, staff, but we did it. Right before we were about to open, my brother passed. He never got a chance to see what he helped us build. He is the reason that we were able to build out, finance our equipment, but it has been the DC Caribbean community that have kept us going. We want people to come into Crown Bakery and have an experience of home, huh? And with our soca and calypso playing and traditional home foods.
We want Crown Bakery to remain a legacy in Washington, D.C. It's incredible to see the young ones who grew up with our bakery in the community. I hope we will always stay in their minds, just like how I remember the little store in my neighborhood in St. James, Trinidad, where I would get my tambourine balls. Memory is a powerful thing, you know. So I know Crown will evolve. It will be remembered because of people like you. It's a place to meet friends, enjoy good food, and have the nostalgia of being home.
End of play.